beautiful babies. Happy Saturday. How is everybody? I hope you all had a lovely week. It's been a good one over here. Like, things have been really nice. Just, I've been busy. So if you're someone who just kind of checks in for book and breakfast posts, you haven't missed much. Your girl has kind of been out. But today, we're back with another installment of Book and Breakfast. I am super excited because we have a very cozy, chill theme for this month. We're going to be discussing Plie by A.H. Cunningham, which was our book of the month pick for August, while we cook up some cinnamon roll pancakes. Super cozy and yummy. We also are going to be announcing our book club theme and the picks that you guys can choose from this month. We're going to be getting into some sleuthing this month, which I'm super excited about. We have a bunch of bookish news and so many new releases. Like, the end of this year is just crazy. Since July, new releases have just been insane. I can't keep up. So if you're interested in tapping into all of the bomb bookish news, getting book recs, jumping into our book club, and finding out all of the new things that are coming out, then just keep watching. Y'all already know the drill. It is time to get into some yummy breakfast and talk about our August book of the month pick. Today, we're cooking up some cinnamon roll pancakes along with some $1 Million bacon. The pancake recipe is not mine, but the bacon recipe is, so I'll have everything down below in the description box for you guys to recreate at your leisure. Let's go ahead and talk about our girl A.H. Cunningham. We chose Plie for the August book of the month pick, and when I tell y'all, I was so happy that we picked that one, because if you know, you know. Plie follows our main characters, Knox Davenport and Miss Aisha McKinney. Aisha is the founder, owner, and kind of runner of her own dance studio located in the heart of her hometown. And while she has found a lot of success in her business, she has also had quite a few struggles in trying to keep up with the business. She is also solely responsible for the health and well-being of her grandparents, and also trying to juggle a very contentious relationship with her father, who was also battling addiction. On top of all of her issues, she seems to have this one parent that just does not like her, is always challenging her, is always kind of trying to get the parents to go against her, and that would be Mr. Knox Davenport himself. He has an adorable little girl that takes classes with Aisha, and he is like a helicopter dad. He's on top of everything that she does, but not just on top of everything his daughter does, he's on top of everything that Aisha does. He just does not understand how this woman is so kind of flighty, all over the place, a little messy, but always seems to get it together and hold it together. And even though the way that she handles her business kind of pisses him off sometimes, more than anything, he's jealous because he wishes that he had the type of carefree attitude and freedom that Aisha seems to maintain no matter what. Even when she is struggling and kind of falling behind on things, she always keeps up the most positive outlook and somehow is able to pull through for her family and all of the students that she is serving. At the top of the book, we have a few things going on here. We have Aisha and Knox both engaging in alternative lifestyles, specifically being that of kink. Knox is a currently training dom, and we have Aisha, who is a well-seasoned sub. And Aisha has another persona that she uses to do work for pay as a submissive. And so she decides that she's going to go back into the business and help out one of the new doms that is going into this and kind of trying to get an idea of what his style is and get some experience in play. What Aisha and Knox don't know is that their dom sub personas are actually each other. They go into this masked, and they don't know that they're actually dealing with their own ops. Aisha is like the perfect chaos cutie sub, where we have Knox, who is a very broody but super nurturing dom. with all of these other things going on, of course, we know that things are not going to stay anonymous forever, and they have to figure out how to navigate their new relationship with them both being in alternative lifestyles that could be looked down upon, as well as the fact that somebody is poaching dancers from Aisha's studio. And she's trying to figure out where these kids are going because everyone is being super duper cagey. So when she decides to do a Christmas dance recital, Knox gets in on it and decides that he's going to help and make all of this a success. Y'all, there ends up being so many different plot points to this story. So many different people on the sidelines that are like praying for Aisha's downfall. But at the heart of this, the DS dynamic and the impending romance that we get throughout the book is chef's kiss. Now, even though this is a romance, this is an erotica. A.H. Cunningham is known for her eroticas that specifically revolve around the kink community and alternative lifestyles and dynamics. And A.H. Cunningham does this so well. I'm sure those of you who read this book and were new to A.H. Cunningham kind of got the idea that she is true to this. She's not new to this, and she consistently hosts like panels and things like that on kink and DS dynamics. And I feel like this book really, really brought home the power dynamics, especially in that of a Dom sub relationship, and really brought home the reality that in these dynamics, the sub is the one that has all the power. It's not the Dom. In short, the sub is setting the tone and the Dom is facilitating and creating a sense of trust within whatever dynamic, whether that's platonic or what we see with Knox and Aisha, that is far more sexual in nature. Overall, I feel like I was equally invested in their dynamic as I was invested in the romance aspects as well. We're not just dealing with grumpy sunshine, like we're dealing with two people who really like truly genuinely don't like each other. And especially for Aisha, finding someone who she is not just attracted to but also not 100% sure if she can trust, because he seemed to have like a vendetta against her for a while. We have Aisha kind of learning to trust someone, allow someone into her life, and kind of give them room to show up for her. And we also see those same things kind of coming to fruition with Knox. Knox has a very difficult past in terms of his love life with his ex-wife, engaging in infidelity and also dealing with addiction. And he truly doesn't trust anyone with his daughter. He is a grade A, like there for her ride or die dad. He takes such good care of his daughter, and I loved seeing that relationship as well. Overall, this was a phenomenal book, y'all. Like 10 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I love the dynamics. I love the romance. I love the friend group as well, and I'm really excited to get into the other stories of her friends within the Wicked Move series. And this one does also connect back to the Firecracker Cousin series. We have Mila, who is the sister of Mira from Ablaze. So if you're interested in a really yummy, kinky poly romance, go check that out. But yeah, this was a great read, and I'm super happy that we picked it. And this breakfast was super duper delicious as well. All right, my loves, that is it for Plie by A.H. Cunningham. Overall, that was a stunning read, a masterclass in the kink community and DS dynamics, and some of the best, like, most well-written tender romance I have ever encountered. It was a solid 5-star read for me, like top to bottom, no notes. And I already have the next book in the Wicked Move series pulled up in my Kindle app to go ahead and start this month. Awesome pick, you guys. Awesome pick. If you want to recreate that recipe, I will have it linked down below. It's not one of my original creations this month, but it was absolutely delicious. So go ahead and check that out if you're looking to just elevate and add a little bit more of a cozy touch to your breakfast. It was so easy. Probably have most of the ingredients at home. It was delicious. All right, baby loves, with a new month, we are in September. We are getting into not only spooky season, but for me, it is cozy season. I am a fall girly through and through. She's a fall baby, and I love the fall vibes, and not in the super cliche way. Like, I have always thrived in the fall. So I wanted to go ahead and just give a little nod to Cozy Season. This month, for our Book of the Month picks, we are going to be dabbling in the Signature Sleuth September. I have really been just enjoying my cozy mysteries with all of my favorite amateur sleuth characters, and so I figured we would continue that into this month. Something a little bit more cozy, but still some thrilling aspects in there. So I have 4 options for us to choose from for the month of September. Make sure you vote down in the comments if we have any types of, like, if we have any ties or anything like that, then I will do a poll and we will wrap that up, and then we will have the pick and the reading guide on Monday. All right, our first option, a more recent release. I was super excited when this came out and thought this would be a super cozy, fun book club pick. We have Savvy Summers and the Sweet Potato Crimes by Sandra Jackson-Opoku. This is a soul food cafe owner by the name of Savvy Summers that has to clear her name when a 75-year-old neighborhood womanizer drops dead over a slice of her famous sweet potato pie. This is everything I love, kitchen mysteries. We have that soul food theme going on, and I believe this is set like in the heart of Chicago. This sounded like right up my alley, very much in line with like what I've been reading with Mia P. Manansala's Tita Rosie Kitchen series. So if you're interested in reading Savvy Summers and the Sweet Potato Crimes this month, then go ahead and drop that comment down below. Right, we also have another new release. Like, this past month was really big on mystery and crime releases. We have History Lessons by Zoe B. Wollbrook. This one follows our main character, Daphne Overture. She has been living a very mundane life as a junior professor at a university until the golden boy of the college, one of her colleagues she doesn't really like too much, ends up being murdered. And Daphne starts her own investigation to solve the murder before whoever it is comes after her. If you're interested in reading History Lessons by Zoe B. Wollbrook, make sure you drop it in the comments below. Then we have Double Mocha Blues by Tyora Moody. This one sounded really, really cute and ultra cozy. Like, even the cover is just giving reading in like a book nook in front of a window with a cup of coffee while it's raining. That's the vibe that it's giving. We have our main character, Joss Miller. She's a young 20-something barista working at a local coffee shop and trying to find herself. And she ends up finding a lot of creativity in a podcast that she has decided to start. She decides to give a tribute to her grandfather via her podcast. And even though it is super sentimental and cathartic for her, many of the people within the town are not happy about the way she is honoring the memory of her grandfather. And one of those who creates some of the most uproar ends up being found dead. And of course, they think that it is Joss. So she has to go out and find out who really killed this man. Sounds like a scheme set up by Todd, okay? So if you're interested in reading Double Mocha Blues by Tyora Moody, go ahead and drop that in the comments below. I will mention that this author is a Christian fiction author, so there may be more themes of like church blessings, stuff like that. Just from the blurb that I was reading, it really put me in the mind of Toni Shiloh, who was an author that I accidentally stumbled across and didn't know she was a Christian fiction author, but I ended up really loving her work. So just a heads up for those of you who care about that, you know. But this sounds super cute, super cozy. I'm really excited to get into this one. This might end up being a series that I go ahead and buddy read with my mom if we don't pick this for book club. And then the last one, I've had my eye on this series for a minute. This is Glory Be by Danielle Arcenaux. This one follows Lafayette's own resident church girl, Lori Broussard. And she lives many, many lives, not only as a woman who kind of fades into the background, but she also has been working as a small-time bookie. She's been living many lives, y'all. When a nun and a dear friend are found dead, the local police just kind of write it off as a suicide. But Miss Glory knows better, and she decides that she is no longer going to fade into the background. Not only is she going to investigate the death of her friend, but she's going to make sure that people know that she is coming for this information. And of course, while she is investigating the death of her friend, many of the Lafayette locals are shaken by many of the secrets that she uncovers. So that is Glory B by Danielle Arcenaux. I'm really excited to get into whatever one we choose. These all sound amazing. These are all by Black authors and feature Black characters. So again, these are our choices for our September book club pick. We have Sappy Summers and the Sweet Potato Crimes by Sandra Jackson-Opoku. History Lessons by Zoe B. Wollbrook. Double Mocha Blues by Tyora Moody, and Glory B by Danielle Arcenaux. Make sure that if you would like to participate this month, or even if you don't and you just want to hear all the chitter and chatter about whatever book we choose, make sure you drop your vote in the comments below. Let's go ahead and get into what I'm currently reading. You guys know I always love to give you a really nice current reads moment. I'm reading some good shit right now. First things first, we have A Lethal Lady by Nekesa Afia. I told you guys that I have been into my amateur sleuths. Like, love this. I absolutely adore the Harlem Renaissance mystery series by Nekesa Afia. This is very moody, you know. It's cozy, but it's still moody. It's tense, rich with history as well, and I absolutely love our main character, Lucille Lloyd. This book has Lucille Lloyd outside of her Harlem bubble. She has officially moved to Paris as a means to get away from her more recent past. She is sick of being known as Harlem's hero, and she is tired of trouble finding her. But of course, it doesn't matter how far she goes, trouble is going to find her. And it finds her in the form of a scared mother who is looking for her daughter. Her daughter is a famed American socialite. She is an artist, a painter. Her mother grows increasingly concerned when all of a sudden her communication cuts off and she has no idea where she is. So she goes out to Paris to find Louise to see if she can help her locate her daughter. And when Louise decides to go ahead and just give this woman a little bit of room and see if she can help her out, things feel more and more sinister. I feel like already just getting into the first few chapters of this book, I'm 10 chapters in, I feel like I have seen a growth in Nekesa Afia's writing. And there has been some subtle growth within Louise, but we still see her trying to run from her demons as opposed to kind of facing everything head on and really taking in the things that have happened to her and the things that have transpired because of the way that she has coped with her traumas. This has been really, really good. Again, we get a lot of rich history here. We have these smaller groups within the Paris community of Black expats. So it has just been a really, really like moody but still fun read. I'm curious to see how this goes because Nekesa Afia never holds back when it comes to her writing. Then I am also listening to Birth of a Dynasty by Chizoba Bado. This was actually sent to me through the Nerd Fam as an ARC as well as an ALC, and I started working on it and ended up having to put it down so I could work on some other things. So I went back to it this week and restarted the book. You know, it is so good. It's everything that I love about fantasy. It gets right to the meat of it. Like, we're not sitting there giving you just a long brain dump of all of these families and lineages and history and stuff. You get it as the story is told of each character that is important. And so we have a son who is the last living member of his family. At the top of the book, we are witnessing his family being slaughtered in real time. And the only goal is to get the legitimate son of the king out. as they are getting him to safety, everyone is dropping one by one, not only his family members, but other people who have stepped in to help as well. This is not happening for no reason. We have another warring nation that is terrified of a prophecy that this family and another family will come together and be the true rulers of this land and of this nation. They don't want that to happen. And so in order to keep that from happening, they either have to get rid of him or they have to get rid of the only remaining daughter of another tribe. Y'all, this has been so good. It has been tense. The family dynamics in many of these royal families are very interesting to witness. We have a young boy who has not only watched his entire family be slaughtered in front of him, but now he is having to assume a different identity in order to be able to continue to live on, carry on his family's legacy, and eventually avenge his family's death. Like, literally, I just sat down for like 2 hours and just like listened and read straight through. I'm tandem reading with the e-arc and the audio, and I felt like I needed to take a deep breath after I stopped. Like, that is how action-packed this story is. And like I said, I love the writing. I have been eating it up. Like, when I tell you I am being fed, it is so good. If you have seen like rave reviews about this book and you were just like, I don't know about that, I'm telling you now, I am only 20% in, and this is one of the best fantasy books that I have read this year. It's so good. I needed a really solid fantasy read, and this one is hitting all of the points for me. I highly, highly recommend. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about some bookish news. We have quite a few things going on. First things first, shout out to my girl, BB Reed. You guys know I love me some BB Reed. I love that woman. Her pen game is absolutely insane. She's the most adorable human being on the planet. And she writes like she needs to be in a straitjacket. Like her characters are insane. She has gotten picked up by Bloom. And so she has 3 books that we know of right now that have been picked up to be traditionally published under Bloom. The first is Lilac. It's one of her most popular stories. It's a rock star, wide shoes, dark romance. So that has already been picked up by Bloom. And I think we still have like a month or 2 before the indie version goes out of print. So if you wanted the indie covers, go ahead and get those now before they go out of print. And then the Men of the Wilds duet. You guys know I have been raving about Crucible since I read it earlier in the year. That duet has been picked up by Bloom as well. So, of course, we were all super hyped for the release of Chrysalis, and it didn't happen because Bloom is holding back the release date. So that is going to come out next April, I believe. I think it's coming out at the end of April 2026. So I am excited for BB Reed, but also a little sad because I'm ready. Like, I just want to read it, you know, I just want to read it. My only other concern with this as well is that obviously these books are going to go back into an editing process with Bloom. And I am sure that they're probably going to have to take a few things out of those books. And I want it the way BB wrote it the first time. That's me. So I think she did say that when it releases, the indie version is going to be out via ebook. So I am going to pick that up and then also buy my special editions of both Crucible and Chrysalis. So either way, I'm going to get the story regardless. But just do know that if you did want the indie version of Crucible, you need to go ahead and get it soon because that's going out of print in a couple of months as well. Then I am super hyped for those of you who live like in Winston-Salem and like close enough surrounding areas. We do have the Bookmarks Book Festival coming up. at the end of September. So Bookmarks is a local bookstore in the Winston-Salem region. Not only are they a bookstore, but they are a community action organization. So they do a lot of community service work. You can actually sign up to volunteer with the Bookmarks location. So they do a lot of amazing things, and they have been doing so many different events for the community, and especially for the reader community within Winston-Salem. And they do have the Bookmarks Festival coming up September 26th through the 28th. So that Friday through that Sunday, there is a full lineup of events. It's opening with a keynote from Hoda Kotb. I believe she is going to be talking about her new book. We have the Books and Bites event on Friday that I will actually be attending that day. So if you're a reader of the channel, if you're a reader, or you're someone who is like tapped into any of my channels, like, come say hi. I love meeting you guys. So I will be at that event on Friday, and I am super excited. And then of course, the full festival is going to be happening on Saturday. So Saturday is a free event. The other events that are kind of spread throughout are ticketed events. So there will be so many different panels on fantasy, YA, romance, all of that good stuff. I am so excited to meet some of my favorite authors. Kennedy Ryan is going to be here. I already hit her up and was like, girl, I'm going to get to see you. If you attend the Books and Bites event, which is a ticketed event, then you will have an opportunity to meet the panelist authors there as well. And you will also have an opportunity to get books signed at the Books and Bites event. So that's where I'm going to be. Events like that are a lot easier for me to handle with my endometriosis and just being chronically ill. So the long lines at conventions and stuff like that are really, really difficult for me. So I'm really excited to finally get to meet Kennedy Ryan. Mia P. Manansala is going to be there. Tracy Dion's going to be there. Kosako Jackson is going to be there. Really excited to meet him. Saba Tahir is also going to be there. And I believe Sierra Simone is also supposed to be there, the author of the Priest series. Yeah, so there are quite a few authors that I love that I am super excited to meet and get some of my books signed. So we don't get a lot of book events close to me, so this is one that I'm really excited to go to. Me and my mom are about to have a good ass time, eat some food, drink some drinks, and then we are going to try to attend the romance panel on Saturday as well. So we will also be there to see Kennedy Ryan speak. That's the same day as the Apple Festival, so we're probably like going to hit up the Apple Festival and then go over and listen to Kennedy Ryan on the panel with the other panelists as well. I think she's going to be on the same panel as Sierra Simone. So I'm excited about that. If you are in the area, make sure you go check that out. It's really nice to have more organizations that are out here trying to create events for the people within the community. I did want to talk about this because reading about it and seeing that no one is talking about it and speaking up for this author really made me angry. I had to dig for this information because I follow Evelyn Lay. You guys know I have been reading Evelyn Lay's book since last year when she had her debut elevator pitch come out. It's one of my favorite books, one of my favorite romance books of all time. She was supposed to continue on with the next book in the series, You of All People. That book is being postponed. And she did make a statement that she made this statement like maybe a month ago. It was something that I did not see, but I did come across earlier this week. And I wanted to talk about it because she has someone not actively stalking her and trying to impersonate her. And so I wanted to bring this up because many of you also read Evelyn Lay. If you see this book come out at any point this month, it is not her. It is someone who was impersonating her. More than likely, they're probably using some type of AI tool to draw up a story and publish a work that was never hers. You know, they hacked into they hacked into her systems, got into her IP address, got into all of her files, and they have been actively impersonating her via other accounts, and basically coming out and saying, hey, this book is coming out in September. That the book is not coming out. And so if you see it come out, it is not Evelyn Lay. It really frustrates me because we have no problem sticking up for anybody else, but it seems like when it comes to Black authors, especially indie Black authors, people are mute when things like this happen. And this person is specifically targeting Black authors. If you are a reader of Evelyn Lay or you don't even know who she is, support her, speak on it, read her books, share her material, and support her, because this is an awful thing for her to be going through, and especially as an author who has shared such deep personal stories with us, to see this happening is deeply upsetting, and it makes me really, really angry that the book community is not talking about it at all. So I'm gonna get up and talk about it because it's really, it's fucked up that people aren't. So I will say this again. If you see You of All People by Evelyn Lay come out this month, it is not Evelyn Lay. That is not her book. Her words have been taken from her and she is being impersonated. All right, baby loves. And last but not least, we got to talk new releases. Again, so many things that are coming out this month or have already come out. So much. I'm only touching like the surface of the things that we are going to be getting this month. Let's talk about the things that have already come out this week. First things first, one of my most anticipated reads for like the last couple of years, Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola is out. This came out on Tuesday. I'm so excited to sit down and read this one. This is the continuation of Kiki and Malachi's story from Honey and Spice. We all know that via Honey and Spice, Kiki and Malachi come out on top, but of course they are super duper young. In Sweet Heat, we are meeting them several years later and we are getting a second chance romance. Y'all know when it comes to romance, second chance is where I live, thrive, where I breathe, where I die. I love me some second chance romance. And I just know this is gonna eat. Bolu Babalola is such an intentional storyteller, and Honey and Spice felt like a big warm hug while reading it. And I have no doubt that Sweet Heat is going to be in that same vein. I can't wait to start this one. I am super excited to get into it. Then we also have By the Horns by Ruby Dixon. This is the sequel to Bull Moon Rising. I do have both and I am going to be working on both this month. I have heard amazing things about Bull Moon Rising. Now, I haven't read a ton from Ruby Dixon. I have most of the Blue Alien Men series in my collection, but I've only read the first one. But I've heard that, like, out of the very long backlist that Ruby Dixon has, that this is one of her most loved series. So excited to get into the two of those. And then we have Every Step She Takes by Allison Cochran. This came out this week as well. I was really excited to get into this one because I adore Allison Cochran's writing. Y'all know it's Sapphic September out here, okay? So I did want to also lean into more of my Sapphic reads this month as well. I adored Allison Cochran's title, Kiss Her Once for Me. So I'm hoping that this is still in like that same very like poignant, but with that perfect edge of comedy that I like from her romance style. We also have The Dating Prohibition by Taj McCoy. Now, this was one that was sent to me from the publisher. I have not started it yet because I'm kind of scared. I am kind of in and out with Taj McCoy. I didn't like Savvy Sheldon at all. But then she came out with, I can't remember the name of the book. I'll put the picture up here. But it was a love triangle, and that was one of the best love triangles I have ever seen written in a romance ever. Her following book, which is in the same world as Savvy Sheldon, was also a love triangle. I couldn't get into it because I'm just not a fan of the characters from that world. So now we have the dating prohibition, and even though I don't believe this is featuring any of those characters from the Savvy Sheldon universe, it's brother's best friend. And it's brother's best friend in that vein of, you're not good enough for her, no one will ever be good enough for her, blah, blah, blah. And that is a theme that I have come to detest as a grown-ass person. Because who are you to tell me, a grown-ass adult, that I can't date somebody, another grown-ass adult? So I'm going to give it a chance and see how I like the story and where it goes. But I have just come to realize that a lot of those brother's best friend forbidden dynamics just piss me off, because I'm just like, just be two grown-ass people, stop hiding, and just do whatever the hell you want to do. But that's just me. We also have Which You Would by Leah Amador. That's another one that was sent to me from the publisher, and I do plan on getting into that. I believe it's supposed to be like a witchy rom-com. And then we also have The Good Girl Effect by Sarah Kate. This has been one of my most highly anticipated reads. This is a legacy spinoff from the Salacious Players Club series, and we are kicking off with Jack. We have Jack Sinclair, son of Eden Sinclair, and if you have read any of the books in the Salacious Players Club series, you know how significant that is, because Eden, aka Madam Kink, was the heart of the Salacious Players Club. Even though she wasn't an owner, she wasn't one of the creators, she helped to make Salacious what it was. So I am excited to see what we get from Jack. Jack is really one of the only like younger characters that we really see in the books. Like, we actually get to see Eden's relationship with her son. That was a big part of Eden's book, was that nurturing relationship as a single mom. So I just know that Jack is going to be the kind of man that we need. Like, I just know, because Eden raised that boy right, okay? I am not a big fan of legacy series. Like, a lot of times I don't know, I almost feel kind of creepy reading about the kids. So I don't really get into legacy series like that, because I feel like oftentimes they're not well done and they lean too heavily on the parents as opposed to creating individual characteristics of, you know, the legacies. So I'm excited to get into this one because I know that Sarah Kate is going to give it to us right. And then here are some other titles that are going to be coming out in the coming weeks. A Point of Our Love by Brianna Michelle coming out next week. We also have Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis coming out next week as well. This is a highly anticipated read for me. We got black vampires, y'all. Right. We also had yesterday, we had the Teachers of Hardwood High, T and E, come out by Nina High. This is the most recent installment in the Teachers of Hardwood High series. I have started that series and I'm really enjoying it. So I will let you guys know how I feel about the series as a whole. In the next couple of weeks, we also have The Princess and the PI by Nikki Payne coming out. I love me some Nikki Payne. And I was sent an arc of The Princess and the PI. We have an amateur sleuth who ends up having to reach out to someone a little bit more professional. And this is a really exciting read for me. This one has been on my list for a while. So I can't wait to get into that one. And we have The Macabre by Kosako Jackson coming out on 9/12. This is a debut horror novel for Kosako Jackson. I am a fan of his rom-coms, so I'm excited to see where he takes this. I do have an arc of it. I'm starting it tonight, so I'm hype about that one. Do you have another horror coming out at the end of the month, The Mean Ones by Tatiana Schlatte-Bahn. So I've heard so many people talking about this one. I don't know what it's about. All I know is the cover looks absolutely insane and I want to read it. I just decided to dabble in horror last month and realized that I really do still love reading horror. So I'm going to be bringing that back for spooky season. We have Burning Daylight by Emily McIntyre coming out at the end of the month, as well as House of Rain by Harley LaRue coming out at the end of the month. This is a sapphic gothic romance, so I'm really hyped. I love everything that Harley LaRue does. We also have The Primal of Blood and Bone. If you are still following the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, this is the final book in the series. I think I'm still going to read it because at this point, I just want to know what the fuck happens. I do take issues. I have a lot of criticisms of the book, more so with the representation of characters of color. I do want to see how this ends though, and I want to see where she ends up taking some of those criticisms that have been there for a hot minute. At this point, I'm at the very last book. I might as well read it. I will say I did actually enjoy the book that was Castiel's POV. I felt like that book was way more organized and made way more sense than the first one. So JLA just be doing whatever. We also have the new book by Nikki Giovanni. This is a compilation of essays, poems, letters, things of that nature. So if you are a fan of Nikki Giovanni, that's something that I would highly recommend picking up. And last but not least, we have EXO, Unlawfully Yours by Jaquel J coming out at the end of the month. Do I know what it's about? Nope. Will I probably get into it? Yes, because I love me some Jaquel J. All right, y'all. We have made it to the end of Book and Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I always love coming back and doing these. These videos are just so cozy and packed with information. Again, if you are participating in book club, make sure you put your vote down below. Put it down below. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. The engagement helps so much, y'all. I too forget to comment on videos because I watch on my TV, but if you come through and you enjoy these videos, make sure you leave a comment. It helps me out a lot, especially considering that this is a very new channel. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for pulling up. Stay cozy, keep reading, and we'll talk soon. Bye.